And continuing with the primary, we focus on the results from St. Thomas and St. John. Here's Lee Carl.
This is outside Cancrine School. You know, they've compressed all of the polling places, so now many of the ones that were on the western end are here today, so we're canvassing this area. We went to Charlotte Amalia, and I'm standing here probably a little after close to 11 o'clock, and up there at Charlotte Amalia, they're taking Winston Ramo and the cafeteria, and that number was somewhere around 39 or 40 in the one area, and then 40, 45 in the other area. So that gives you an idea. Now I'm going inside here, and I'll report on this. But again, very slow. I see a lot of familiar faces here: Marilyn Stapleton, Alvin Williams. There's Lolo, and of course even ran into the man who's going to represent us out in Washington, Basil Otley. And I asked Basil if he'd chat just a little bit with us about the election here, the primary election, and also congratulations on the new job.
Hey, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Right. So now you're out of the mix here. I mean, you know,
I gotta say, it kind of feels good not being in the mix. It's a lot of work to run for political office. You got to give credit and just due to anybody who seeks to get out here and try to represent the people's interests, because it's tiring, it's grueling, and so hands out and hats off to everybody who's out there trying to do it.
What about the committee's selection of Patrick Sprout? What do you think?
Well, I think the committee is following the law, you know, and my thing was to keep out of it and to allow the committee to make their decision, and I decided I would support whoever the committee presented.
But you know Patrick, right?
Yeah, I know him well.
Do you think he'll follow some of the precepts that you were working on?
Well, I mean, I think that I've done my legacy, you know, and it's for whoever coming up next to fulfill their legacy. I think there are things in the hopper that my colleagues, my minority colleagues, are going to be taken care of because they've signed on to a number of the initiatives that I have moving forward. And in all practicality, after we vote the budget in next week, the legislature is going to move into campaign cycle, and I don't know how active it will be after that.
Let's talk about your thing in the States. What is the title again?
The colloquial is called the Desk Officer for the Virgin Islands within the Office of Insular Affairs in the Department of Interior.
And what do you think your challenge or your mandate is?
The job description has broad mandates. I'm to be the chief policy person for the Virgin Islands Affairs and even some of the other insular areas. I'm expected to help expand federal programs, working with the local government and the delegate to expand federal programs to the territory. When complex issues arise, it will be my responsibility to help to give some explanation as well as to bring the necessary forces together to resolve the complex issues facing the territories from the federal side. I'll be there to advise the Secretary of Interior as well as the President of the United States about what some of the issues are impacting the Virgin Islands, as well as members of Congress.
Good to have a local voice up there.
It is very important to have somebody that is coming fresh from being on the front lines, that can really give an authoritative and a credible perspective of what's happening in the Virgin Islands, and more importantly, what we need.
Congratulations, Basil.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck up there that's the jungle up there.
It is.
In St. Thomas for primary election 2008, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
And your men and women in blue are pedaling your way right after the break.